What, is that wind? Well, I don't know what that is. That doesn't sound like wind, but that's crazy.
It's very bizarre. These arrows point in a direction. Occasionally also, he stops to photograph roomfuls of bones, which means that he's very, very deep inside the catacombs.
Sometimes the most terrifying thing about a video is that it just ends without an explanation. And this video is one of the most haunting examples of that. It shows a man filming inside the Paris catacombs sometime in the early 1990s and never returned. Except his camera was later recovered to uncover this chilling footage.
We hear his breathing get louder and louder, as though something was scaring him. He's frightened. Occasionally he stops, perhaps to try to decide which way to run among all the many different corridors. He's running faster and faster and faster, deeper and deeper into the catacombs. And all of a sudden,
For those who don't know, the catacombs are a series of underground tunnels that are located underneath Paris. The catacombs were created during the late 18th century to help alleviate the city's cemetery shortage crisis. There are approximately 6 million bodies buried in the catacombs alone. In recent times, however, the catacombs have become a popular place for urban explorers. The people who tour the catacombs are known as cataphiles. As you can see in this video, after the man descends into the catacombs, he's surrounded by this endless maze of tunnels, dark, tight, and claustrophobic. And all he has with him is a flashlight and a camera. That's it. But what he ends up capturing has haunted people ever since. As he moves deeper, things start to feel off. There's graffiti up on the walls, skulls, bones, piles of them. Even an entire room just filled with bones. But then something changes. His breathing gets heavier, his pace quickens, and without warning, he starts to run as if he is scared of something or someone.
as though something was scaring him. He's frightened. Occasionally he stops, perhaps to try to decide which way to run among all the many different corridors. He's running faster and faster and faster, deeper and deeper into the catacombs. And all of a sudden,
there is no explanation, no sound, no creature, just panic. The man is running blindly through a pitch-black tomb, turning corners, stumbling, his flashlight swinging wildly, until suddenly he drops the camera. It hits the ground, still recording. We hear his footsteps fade into the darkness, and then nothing. It was never seen again. There are some possible theories that you can see in the comment section. Two possible scenarios. The first one being that he panicked due to claustrophobia, infrasounds, or stress. And two, that he wasn't alone down there. Being in darkness and bones for hours will definitely make your mind play tricks on you. I think he just hallucinated for some danger that wasn't there, panicked and dropped everything, which you usually do when you fear for your life. Got lost and probably fell down somewhere and died. Catacombs, according to an article I read, were made with cracks in certain areas that when the wind would blow, even at very low speeds, would create noise that is at a very low frequency that in today's scientific world is known as infrasound, which can create a sense of dread or make you feel as if there's a ghost or ghosts around you. Your eyeball will lightly vibrate, causing you to see shadows out of the corner of your eye, and for that reason, infrasound has been called the ghost frequency, or the sound of ghosts. To this day, no one knows who he was, no body was recovered, and the only evidence of his final moments is the camcorder he left behind, found by another group of explorers a lot of years later. Whether he was lost, hunted, or went insane after panicking, it remained a mystery no one ever solved, and no one ever went back. Creepy sounds captured in an abandoned mine. It started like any other mine exploration for a YouTube channel exploring abandoned mines and unusual places. A man with a flashlight in hand descends into the Waldeck mine, a crumbling labyrinth buried deep in the Nevada desert. The mine dates back to the 1800s. Its timber supports rotting, its tunnels barely holding back the weight of the rocks above.
Oh, Jesus. Wow, that's... So that goes up into the stope, and you can see up there where my light is, all of those stacked boulders on that big round timber right there. All of that rock is apparently being supported by this ceiling made out of wood and timbers. So there's a lot of weight on here, on these boards. So we'll carefully and quietly go through here. And you can see the tunnel continuing down there, another ore chute. Yeah, like right here, it's kind of breaking. That timber there is kind of breaking, and wow, this is crazy.
It's already creepy from the moment he enters. The air inside is heavy. You can hear it as if the mine is still breathing. As he moves deeper, it becomes clear this place is falling apart. Timber bending under tons of pressure, rocks balanced overhead like a ceiling could come down at any second. Every step forward feels like anything could happen at any moment, like something just waiting in the dark, watching. And then he hears it, a strange sound.
Do you hear that? What, is that wind? I don't know if you can hear that on the camera. Do you hear that? Well, I don't know what that is. That doesn't sound like wind, but that's crazy.
It doesn't sound like wind. It doesn't echo like a bat or drip like water. It's unnatural, shifting and whispering. After a moment, the sound stops, then starts again. It almost sounds like snakes, he says, but it seems that is anything but snake. He looks toward the tunnel ahead. No dramatics, no screams, just instinct. Get out as quickly as possible.
I've heard some weird stuff in mines, but that is definitely creepy. I don't know what that is. So let's get out of here and head back out to the portal. That was weird.
Sounds like whispers. I think I heard turn it off a couple of times. Sounds like whispers saying, come with us, or come be us. Either way, it made me completely paranoid listening to it. This is one of the most intense I've seen in a while. I was expecting a jump scare at any moment. To this day, no one knows what made that sound. It wasn't wind, it wasn't water, and it wasn't an animal either. Sometimes, in the deepest parts of the mine, you're not alone. I found the M Cave again. After Kenny Veach vanished in the Nevada desert while searching for what he called the M Cave, the internet was left with more questions than answers. And for years, no one could even find the cave that he was talking about. Until someone else did, or alleged that he did.
So, I believe that up there is the M Cave.
A YouTuber from the channel exploring abandoned mines and unusual places decided to pick up the trail that Kenny left midway. Armed with GPS coordinates and a warning from his military friend named Don, he set out to find the mysterious cave, the one shaped like the letter M. And somehow he claimed he found it.
The guy who kind of alerted me to this location, his name's Don, and he's in the military. And I don't see any door like I think Kenny Veach said there might have been. I mean, back here in the back is where I'm assuming a door would be. So yeah, you can sort of see here in the silhouette the M. See, there it goes up and comes down here, that centerpiece, then goes back up and comes down over there.
Inside, the cave was small, quiet, too quiet. There was no sign of any recent human activity, just strange remnants buried under dust. A shattered bottle, old wooden beams, a rusted sign partially buried in the dirt. He picked it up. Area 51, restricted area. No trespassing, use of deadly force authorized. There was no door, no secret passage, no vibration. But something about it felt unfinished, like something had been removed or hidden or buried. Eventually, he backed out. The comment section has a different theory though. From what you showed, that cave seemed pretty easy to find for Kenny since he was so familiar with that area. My opinion is that this is not the infamous M cave. If you watch Kenny's video, he walks past this little cave and then to the S-shaped valley, but then he hits like a dead end and turns around and goes back to his truck. To this day, no one knows what Kenny found, or if this was even the same cave, because what Kenny described in his video, the cave was about his height.
So, hopefully I'll find it. It's shaped like a big M. It's a big cave that looks just like a gigantic M, and it's about as tall as I am and kind of narrow, and it's stuck on the side of a mountain. So I hope I can find it again. And if I do, I'm going in there. I'm gonna put on my light and take my gun out and walk in there, see if I find anything. We'll see.
However, the M cave in this video is very small. Besides, this video still gives me the chills when he saw through the crack and said there's an airflow from within the cracks, and he immediately gets up and leaves.
Looks kind of dark back in there. I don't know. Well, I gotta get out of here. I think I've overstayed my welcome.
The pale face behind the teacher. In 2020, a school teacher in Mexico was hosting an online live class from his home, alone with just his dog for company. Everything seemed normal until viewers noticed something disturbing behind him.
Tanto el movimiento no existe, relacionado con lo que dice Raúl, el gato de no me suena la chinga en alemán, pero en
A
inglés.
pale face, human-like, expressionless, peeked from the shadow. The teacher never turned back. He continued speaking to his students, unaware that something is watching him. That's when the students began to react. Screenshots were shared, the footage spread rapidly to Reddit, TikTok, and beyond. And soon, major media reported it as a possible paranormal encounter. Investigations revealed that the teacher claimed he was alone in the house. A following tweet revealed that his friend's teacher had just separated from his partner and had moved into the property alone. No intruder was found, no further footage surfaced. No official explanation was ever offered. Some viewers believe it was a stalker lurking in the residence. Others suggest something more sinister, supernatural. An entity not quite human, not quite alive. Whatever it was, the face on the screen was never solved.